Cowboys Nation, what is going on? It's that time again, the build-up before a big Monday night football matchup. And this week, all eyes are on Dallas as the Cowboys get set to host the Arizona Cardinals at AT&T Stadium. Now, I know we've been through some frustrating weeks lately. The team's been up and down, the defense has been inconsistent, and the offense hasn't exactly lived up to expectations. But this one feels like the kind of game where you either make a statement or you start raising some serious alarms. The Cowboys are sitting as a small favorite, just over a field goal, and they're facing a Cardinals team that hasn't tasted victory in what feels like forever. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 straight losses. That's 6 weeks without a win, and yet something about this game still feels tricky. Dallas and Arizona are, oddly enough, built in kind of opposite ways. The Cowboys have one of the most explosive offenses in the league, ranking near the very top in points per game, but their defense has been holding them back, sitting near the bottom in almost every major category. Meanwhile, the Cardinals' offense has struggled to put points on the board, but their defense has been decent enough to keep them in games. It's this weird mirror image of two teams that can't seem to put both sides together at the same time. Let's start with the injuries because, as always, they play a massive role in how this one might unfold. Linebacker Jack Sanborn tweaked his groin in warm-ups last week, and it's still unclear if he'll be ready to go. Donovan Wilson missed time with an elbow and shoulder issue, while Wayne Thomas has been battling migraines that have kept him sidelined for a couple of weeks now. And listen, migraines are no joke. If you've ever had one, you know it's not just a headache. It completely messes with your vision, your focus, everything. Hopefully he's trending in the right direction. Safety Elijah Clark, on the other hand, looks unlikely to suit up, while offensive lineman Cooper Beebe might finally return from that ankle injury, which would be huge for keeping Dak Prescott upright. Johnny Cornelius has been dealing with those nagging me issues, and honestly, he's been a healthy scratch lately anyway, so the Cowboys won't have to make a big roster move there. On the Cardinals side, things are looking a bit brighter. Quarterback Kyler Murray is back after missing a couple of games, and that changes everything. When he's on the field, this offense is simply different. Unpredictable, fast, and capable of creating chaos when plays break down. Amari DeMarcado and Bam Knight will likely carry the workload in the backfield for one more week, while Michael Carter could be elevated from the practice squad if they need depth. Safety Tan Crawford is expected back, and there's a chance that defensive lineman Walter Nolan could make his first appearance of the season after being out with a calf issue. Garrett Williams, still on injured reserve but designated to return, could also sneak his way into the lineup, depending on how the week of practice goes. Now, when you break down the keys to this game, the first one is pretty obvious. The Cowboys need their quarterback to bounce back. Last week was not Dak Prescott's finest hour. It might have been his worst game of the season, honestly. The offense just looked out of rhythm, and when you pair that with a defense that couldn't stop anyone, well, that's how you end up losing games you shouldn't. But here's the thing. Outside of that performance, Dak has been playing some really efficient football this year. You could make an argument that only a handful of quarterbacks have been better overall. So this matchup against Arizona feels like a chance to reset, to regain confidence, and to remind everyone why he's still one of the most capable quarterbacks in the league when he's locked in. The second key, and it's been a weekly conversation at this point, is the defense. Can they just not be terrible? That's it. That's the bar right now. Nobody's asking for a top 5 defense or anything fancy. Just be average. The Cowboys are near the bottom in just about every metric. Points per game, success rate, yards allowed, third down stops, you name it. They've been flat out bad. There was some talk about playing more man coverage last week, and yeah, technically they did, but it was all in garbage time during the fourth quarter, so it didn't even matter. That unit needs an identity, and fast, because if they let Kyler Murray get comfortable, we've seen this movie before, and it doesn't end well for Dallas. And speaking of Kyler Murray, this guy has some kind of magic spell over AT&T Stadium. Ever since high school, he has never lost a game in that building. Never. He's undefeated at that venue. In high school, college, and the NFL. That's a streak that the Cowboys absolutely need to break this time around. It's been one of those quirky storylines that always gets brought up during the broadcast, and you know the commentators are going to mention it at least 5 times Monday night. Kyler's career, honestly, has been a mixed bag. He's got crazy talent, but the inconsistency and the struggles against pressure have held him back. Still, whenever he faces Dallas, he looks like a superstar. Maybe it's the stadium lights, maybe it's the motivation of facing America's team, but the guy always shows up. For the Cowboys, containing him is non-negotiable. Keep him in the pocket, limit his scrambles, and don't let him extend plays. That's how Arizona kills you. Those broken plays where Kyler turns a near sack into a 30-yard gain. Dallas has the pass rushers to contain him, but discipline has been the issue all season long. One bad angle, one over pursuit, and suddenly he's gone. Then there's the run game, and that's where Dallas absolutely has to show some improvement, both running the ball and stopping the run. Offensively, the Cowboys have been solid, not spectacular. They're around the middle of the pack in yards per game, but top 10 in efficiency, which tells you they make the most of their opportunities when they commit to the ground game. Javante's been fun to watch this year. Runs with balance, hits the hole hard, and doesn't get taken down easily. What this team needs is more consistency. They can't just rely on big plays from Dak's arm. They need the run game to keep defenses honest. Defensively, though, that's where things get scary. Dallas is one of the worst run defenses in the league right now. They're near the bottom in rushing yard allowed per game, near the bottom in success rate, and they give up way too many explosive runs. That's been the story of the season. Missed tackles, poor gap control, and a front seven that just can't seem to get off blocks. You look at the numbers, and it's ugly. Bottom 5 in yards before contact, bottom 5 in run stops, and almost dead last in defensive efficiency against the run. That's not a sustainable formula. Arizona, on the other hand, has been average in their rushing attack this year. They were one of the better running teams last season, but with injuries and changes in the backfield, they've struggled to find rhythm. Still, if you're the Cardinals, you're looking at Dallas film and thinking, yeah, we can exploit that. Every opponent has tried to run on the Cowboys, and most of them have had success. So this could very well turn into one of those games where the first team to establish the run early dictates the tempo for the night. And finally, clutch moments. If this one's close, and odds are it will be, the Cowboys have to find a way to close it out. That's been a problem. They've lost too many one-score games this year. Games that came down to execution, discipline, and composure. Whether it's dropped passes, penalties, or missed assignments, the little things have added up. Meanwhile, Arizona's been in almost exclusively one-score games all season. They hang around, they compete, but they just can't finish. One of these teams has to break that pattern. Dallas needs to prove they can be the team that makes the plays when it matters most, not the one that folds in crunch time. If they can do that, protect Dak, contain Kyler, and just get a little bit of balance back on both sides of the ball, they'll give themselves a real shot to right the ship under the bright lights on Monday night. Now, let's talk about what really matters, the mindset. The Cowboys have to walk into this game with the mentality that every snap counts. Too often this season, it feels like they wait for something to happen instead of taking control from the opening drive. When this team plays with urgency, they look like contenders. When they don't, they look like a mid-tier squad trying to find an identity. Monday night needs to be about setting the tone early, punching first, and never letting up. Dak Prescott has faced his fair share of criticism, and some of it is fair. But if you watch closely, it's not always about him. It's about the rhythm of this offense. When the play calling is balanced and Dak isn't forced to throw 50 times, he's sharp, confident, and efficient. The issue has been that the Cowboys sometimes get too predictable. Defenses know when it's pass, they know where it's going, and they sit on routes. That's when drives stall. So for this game, it's about creativity. Motion, play action, quick decisions, getting the ball into the hands of playmakers in space. Make the defense chase instead of react. CeeDee Lamb continues to be the heartbeat of this passing attack. When he's involved early, the whole offense opens up. You can see it in Dak's confidence. You can see it in the tempo. But it can't just be CD. Jake Ferguson, Brandon Cooks, and the backs out of the backfield have to play their roles too. Against a Cardinals secondary that has struggled with communication and deep coverage, this is the kind of game where spreading the ball around can make all the difference. Defensively, it all starts with energy. This unit has been flat, lifeless even in moments when they needed to step up. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs can't do it alone, and honestly, they shouldn't have to. The linebackers have to fill gaps, the safeties have to tackle in space, and the defensive line needs to start dictating the game instead of reacting to it. Too many times this year, Dallas has let average quarterbacks look comfortable. They've allowed long, clock-chewing drives that wear the defense down and keep the offense cold on the sideline. That can't happen again. Against Kyler Murray, you've got to force the issue, collapse the pocket, hit him early, and make him uncomfortable. Because when Kyler gets into rhythm, when he starts feeling himself, he can take over a game with his legs and his improvisation. Another part of this matchup that can't go unnoticed is discipline. The Cowboys have been one of the most penalized teams in key moments, third downs, red zone situations, special teams miscues, and those little mistakes are the difference between winning and losing in the NFL. There's no reason this team should be beating itself with holding calls or offsides penalties in clutch moments. It's about composure, about keeping your head when the game gets tight. If this becomes a close one in the fourth quarter, and let's be honest, it probably will, Dallas has to execute when it matters. The defense can't give up that one back-breaking third down. The offense can't drop passes or take unnecessary sacks. This team needs to show it can close, because that's what's been missing, the ability to finish. You can outgain your opponent, you can dominate time of possession, you can move the ball all night, but if you don't finish drives with touchdowns or get stops on defense when it counts, it doesn't matter. Now, I know a lot of fans are nervous. You look at the record, the inconsistency, the blown leads, and it's easy to lose faith. But here's the thing. The Cowboys are still in position to turn this around. The talent is there, the playmakers are there, and even with the defensive struggles, this team has shown flashes of being elite when they play to their potential. What they need now is consistency. Every great team finds its identity at some point in the season, and this could be the moment for Dallas to rediscover who they are. And let's be real, beating Arizona at home under the bright lights of Monday Night Football is not just about getting a win. It's about sending a message that this team is still in control of its destiny, that they can take a punch, respond, and keep fighting. The Cowboys don't need to blow the Cardinals out. They just need to play a complete, disciplined game, one where the offense supports the defense and vice versa. You can already picture the atmosphere. AT&T Stadium packed, fans waving flags, that electric buzz before kickoff. The team runs out of the tunnel, fireworks blasting, the crowd roaring. This is where you find out who wants it more. Will Dallas respond to the pressure, or will Kyler Murray once again steal the show? But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The NFL world is buzzing tonight as rumors swirl about what could be one of the most shocking trades in recent history. According to sources close to the league, the Dallas Cowboys are reportedly finalizing a deal that would bring a bona fide all-pro star to Texas, sending shockwaves through fans and analysts alike. Details remain scarce, but insiders hint that this is not your typical mid-season shuffle. It's a high-stakes gamble that could redefine the franchise's trajectory. Speculation is already running wild about who could be on the move. Names previously considered untouchable have surfaced in whispers, and the possibility of a marquee player heading to AT&T Stadium has Cowboys faithful on the edge of their seats. If confirmed, the trade would not only bolster Dallas's roster immediately, but also send a clear message to the rest of the league. The Cowboys are serious about competing at the highest level this season. The timing of the deal adds another layer of intrigue. With the playoffs looming, teams are calculating risks and rewards, and the Cowboys front office appears willing to pull off a bold, unprecedented move. Analysts are divided. Some argue the trade could catapult Dallas into Super Bowl contention, while others caution that the price for an all-pro might destabilize the team's long-term plans. Still, the allure of landing a game-changing talent is irresistible. Social media has erupted, with fans speculating endlessly and experts dissecting every possible scenario. Could this be the missing piece that transforms Dallas into an unstoppable force? Or is it a headline-grabbing gamble that might backfire? One thing is certain. The NFL landscape could look very different by the end of the week. As the story develops, eyes across the league will remain glued to Dallas, waiting for official confirmation. For now, the rumor mill continues to churn, and the Cowboys' bold move has reminded everyone that in the NFL, anything is possible. And sometimes, history is made in a single trade. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.